professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a Scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's down with you, baby? What's down? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail, man. Having cowards around your kids. So the thumbnail is a news story in like Rising Star, Texas, right? Where a third grader found the superintendent's gun, I guess, in the bathroom, if I remember correctly, of the school, and told his dad or whatever. The news had to come out, blah blah blah. And the interesting part about the story is it happened after the I want to say Uvalde mass shooting at the school, right? It happened after that. And the issue is this: the police weren't notified, and the school like whatever. And it took maybe, because the story is like a year old, but it just got to the news basically. And that's the point. It just got to the news basically, and the police figuring it out at the same time the news are. And the father, who was in the thumbnail, I'm guessing he's Mexican or Hispanic, out maybe from a different part. Who knows? Different part of Central or South America. But what was interesting about it to me was it said the superintendent guy. This isn't the first time he's done this. Like, it's just a habit of going to the bathroom and just leaving the gun there unattended. Now, here's my issue. First, I used the father's picture because in the news story they put the child's picture up. Now it's interesting that the superintendent got caught with the gun, but the father and the child, their picture, the father was speaking on camera. That's fine. But you put a third grader's child up. This is your child that found the gun. The third grader happened to be Hispanic. Now this ain't about to be a black and brown coalition moment per se. And then when I saw the parents, mostly white, like I don't think he was gonna do any harm to the kids, but y'all just notifying us now. It's like feel like y'all might be hiding something. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, first and foremost, the reason why this story took so long is because I'm guessing it's a predominantly white community. That's why it took so long. Because a lot of times stuff like this gets swept under the rug. If you're in any state in the United States of America and you're a black person, the crime gets swept under the rug in suburban areas, for one. But for two, you got to look into their papers, like the local papers, to see what's really going down. And because a lot of stuff gets swept under the rug, and since people don't read papers no more, you can print that news story and it never existed. Two, why are y'all comfortable with a person walking around elementary kids with guns? Think about that. And this is a problem in society that I see when it comes to race and even class. Race and class. If you feel like you're in a race that's superior to other races, you're willing to cross the lines of humanity. Because, like, as a black man, that's something that a white person would do, for sure. Walking around grade school kids with a gun. Why? And the white people are there just kind of like, oh, this is not supposed to happen in our neighborhood. And some of the looks on the white guy's face is like, oh. And I can interpret it like, yeah, that's supposed to only happen when y'all around the blacks like me, right? Y'all supposed to walk around with guns around our kids. You feel me? We around the blacks' kids. We can have guns because, those third graders are gangsters. And it's like, whatever. But now it's happening to y'all. Now, the other thing that I got to talk about is this. And, hold up. The other thing I got to talk about is this. I don't want to cuss, so excuse me. When I say cowards, and I brought it to the racial part, it happens with the class thing. Remember when they had the older guy with the homeless lady, and he was using a water hose on her, and he got filmed and it went viral. It's a class issue, right? Because you can be a jerk to a person if depending on your race and their race, or your class and their class. Depending in that, you can throw race in that too. So when you're at the point, this is a superintendent. Understand, a person like that, if they're superintendent of a school district, and they're walking around with a gun on the campus around the kids, they could say, "Oh, it's just for protection, or in case something goes down." Let me explain something to you. People who carry guns like that in public, around people like that, the vast majority of them aren't there to protect anybody. They're not built for a confrontation. So if something was to go down in that school, don't expect that fool to be a hero. Okay, that'll be the first person running. They're doing more to intimidate the kids than they would defend those kids. And if you're a superintendent of a school, first of all, who put a fool like this in that position? That says a lot about the school district and the people who think that's okay. And on top of that, what do you think a person like this would do to discipline your child? How far do you think a person like that would go? See, and this is what I mean by cowards around your kids, because even when they have the police officers and the officers and the security type people in the high school with the kids, you notice how, especially these white dudes, they go the extra mile to hurt the non-white kids. The extra mile. It's because they're cowards. I was thinking about something yesterday, and this topic kind of did it for me. See, I'm a 43-year-old black man. I'm not. I'm just an average sized guy. I can say this emphatically. When I was younger, white, Hispanic, Asian, Muslim, grown men would have no problem with, if I was 15 years old, they got an issue that they would jump me, grown men, and give it all they've got. Me at 30, no. No, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't even jump. And that's the mentality of people like that superintendent that's around the kids. They're willing to do something extra to your kids because that's the only win that they can get in life. A win is a win. It doesn't matter if it's a child. That's just the reality of it. And I can see the parents don't want to, they're white. The kid, I'm sure the superintendent's white. The kid was Hispanic, so it's like, we don't want to. No. Maybe he'll protect us against them. And see, the problem is that father, that son found that, he's got to be one of the them now. It's like, oh, okay, my child is one of the them now. Because you can't say it's the blacks. No, because it's what's going on here? It's not. We're not talking about high school kids, because even though the Uvalde thing was terrible, the Sandy Hook thing was terrible. Most of these school shootings, though, the vast majority of them happen at high schools or college, but the vast majority high school. So you got to be aware of people like that, because they're not concerned about your child or your child's safety or your child's education. They're concerned about their safety. And I forgot what show that was. Yellowstone. It was Yellowstone. There's a clip of a scene in Yellowstone where, I want to say, Rip and another guy went to confront a guy on a farm. And it was roughing up the father, and the son pulled out a gun. It was like, basically, get off my dad. He had a rifle on him. And the guy was talking him down, like, all right, chill, kid. And the other guy was a cop. And the kid was calming down. And as the kid was calming down, the cop he amped it up and then shot the kid to death. Died right in front of the father on the farm. And the cop basically was like, look, I had to protect myself from fear for my life. And then I want to say the character was Rip. He was like, yeah, whatever you got to tell yourself, man. You know, meaning you did that on purpose, but you get to hide behind the badge doing this stuff. So I don't hate to say it, but that's the type of people that do that. So if I was a parent, I'd take my kid out to school. I'm not we going to a different school. Even though that's the superintendent, and that's the problem. Even if you transfer the kid out of that school, because if he's a superintendent, the superintendent might just go to the other school to just be intimidating to the kid or to the parents. Like, I'll still be around your kids. That's the issue. Because a person like that is a coward. But we have a lot of these people in the educational system around the kids. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take it.